Alright, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to 6Blade Live TV. This is 6Blade 9 here. Today we're going to be talking about Probius, post rework. Probius receives a passive, which I thought was a nerf. Well, which I thought, I think Probius being nerfed, but after playing him for a little bit, I think this passive is a buff. It's a bit of a buff. It doesn't contribute to like team fight and stuff, but it really contributes towards a specific type of playstyle of Probius, which is all about pushing lane and uh, kind of like creating your own minion in a sense as you push the lane, right? Because Probius has its pylons, and when you put the pylons down, you get energy, and then you use that energy to pull your turrets down, and the turret kind of serve as a minion. So the more often you have, the more often you can do that, like the longer you can stay in a lane, or the longer you can continue to siege without worrying about like if you have minions and stuff like that. All right, so this here is a really short match, but the main goal here is to just show you guys Probius build. Uh, on our side, we have Quera, we have Rhaegar. Rhaegar being nerfed. We have Stitches, and we have Vala. Vala is still broken. So our team consists of, I don't know, Vala range is pretty long. I was gonna say we have like a bunch of melee guys, but Vala has a very decent range with her attacks. Enemy team is a bit tanky. They have Chen, they have Johanna, they have Fastad for global, and then they have Lin Ming and Anduin. Anduin healing is insane, so it also contributes towards them being tanky. Alright, so the match starts up here, and right off the bat, I noticed this Limi here trying to take out our turrets. Pretty slick Limi. Limi players usually do this, so when a match is going on and you don't see Limi around, you should usually check your force, because they might be trying to sneak around and like take your force down, your structures down and stuff. So I'm gonna rotate up here. It's 38 seconds into the match. And yeah, so like Rhaegar. Rhaegar got nerfed in the sense that they let's see, like the passive he used to give out to his allies and stuff, I think it been changed, and he's basically a healer now. He's like a basic healer, right? Earlier with the changes that he had, he was like a buffing type of healer, and he would just buff his allies and like make them really OP. But now he's just a basic healer, and in the past, the reason why he's nerfed is that in the past, Rhaegar used to suffer from healing issue. Like he doesn't have enough heal until he have like level 10 talent, and then he get our burst heals there. I've been playing Battle Right for a while, now, so I'm just saying Raygun as one of the character I've been playing. But anyways, that's the issue of Rhaegar. So I really won't like recommend picking him, because the new character that is like OP these days now is Mafirin, and it's all about that root and the silence. So in top here, this is one of the procs you get for playing Probius, is that you can block projectile attacks by positioning properly. and by putting your pylons in the right places.
You think yourself worthy to
And
rule
the
the
cool thing
dragon?
about playing Probius, like why I say Probius is like he doesn't have counter, is that like he can attack these structures from a very safe distance, and he don't need minions like I was explaining earlier. And then you add this passive to it where like if you kill minions, you collect these minerals, you reduce your pylon's cooldown. Right, so it really makes him a very strong siege character. And a lot of people don't like playing Zagara and stuff. But I think apart from Zagara, Probius has like a very strong siege. I'll like rank him. I'll say I'll rank him in the second place because like Zagara is like global if you take the right ultimate for her. Um, as for Probius, it's not global. Like it can be anywhere on the map at any time. But yeah, if you build him right and you play him right, like you really don't need minions to like siege towers and stuff like that. So as you guys can see here, I'm putting my structures in the right places. Like I'm using my pylons. I'm usually gonna put them in the bushes here, just in case somebody is coming, so I can see them before they try to gang me. And as I move, I always like try to move my stuff with me, right? Repositioning my pylons, repositioning my towers and stuff like that. So when you're playing Probius, like the most important thing to do is that I mean to notice that you should always be moving your structures around, and you should always be like keeping track of your talents and your cooldowns and stuff.
Capture the shrine, inherit the Dragon Knight's
All
power,
right,
and lay waste to
Fasta is about to
Probius.
gang me here. I saw him, and I try to fly away. I mean, I try to rush away, but he chased me. Fasta is actually one of the decent counter to Probius, just because that he don't have to target his attacks. Like if he stay closer to you, there's an AoE attack that he just uses, and it does insane damage to Probius. And also noting the fact that he can fly anywhere and like attack you, it's a bit of a counter because it's also range, right? People like Dahaka, you can like bob and weave around them, you can sidestep them and stuff, but fast that AoE is like an auto attack type of thing, so that's one of the things you should watch out for when you battle draft Probius. Alright, they have Ling Ming in top here. I don't know why, but the Chen is in bot lane, the Tang is in bot lane. The Chen is supposed to be up here contesting against me for this objective, but uh, Ling Ming is up here for some reason. And there is no way in hell Ling Ming can beat me in the lane as Probius.
Hero
So
slain.
I'm gonna basically trap her in there, do a little bit of damage to her. Not much, but so you can see I'm using my structures to kind of like dodge her attacks. And I'm just going around in circles and just doing damage to her and stuff. If she captured it, it doesn't matter. She's their main DPS. Since she's not in the right place, it really doesn't matter because in bot lane we have our main DPS there, and they are doing pretty decent. Alright,
Hero slain.
Chimela is gonna help Vala execute the faster there. Johanna is pretty low. Anduin is pretty low, also low on mana, so he's backing out. Chen is down there as well. And yeah, without Li Ming, these guys can't do anything here. She's their main DPS, she's not here, so it's a guarantee that we're gonna secure this node each time. Alright, so Li Ming here, she been taking some passive damage from a turret, and she has to back. And as you guys can see, I'm using my turrets, I'm using my pylons to like secure vision around where I am. I'm gonna back here because I'm pretty low, and then I'm gonna try to get this shrine.
The flame cleanses
When
all.
I get the dragon, I'm gonna position myself properly here so I don't take damage from this turret while I'm doing damage to turret from this tower while I'm doing damage to the other tower. Alright, one of the problems of this team is that they really don't know what's happening. This is low elo by the way, so I don't expect these guys to be this good. Anyways, I captured the objective. Fasta is supposed to be here doing some damage to it. Lime is supposed to be here getting some resets off of the dragon and stuff, but nobody is here. And because I can sidestep this Joanna pretty well, I'll be able to like use this dragon, which is pretty weak by now. Like it's just level 7, it's not level 10 or whatsoever like that. Alright, so this dragon is pretty weak, but because like only one person is here, I'm gonna carefully push this lane in and just get all these structures down, and I'm gonna get this fort as a result. In top here, Lame is still trying to do siege damage, which is like useless pretty much. I'm gonna walk around here, distract her, hit these minions, get a little bit of damage in there, attack and then walk, attack and walk, sidestepping.
Hero slain.
I'm able to kick the Johanna out of the way there. She's all the way on the other side of the map. Before she returned, I'm able to take down that fort. I'm gonna destroy the side of the gates here to remove vision, and the dragon dies. Okay, so this is one of the things I was talking about earlier, right? As you guys can see here, I'm using my turret as a minion, and I'm able to like walk up to this tower here and start doing damage, and my turret will like tank for me as I do damage. Chen actually came into the right spot now, and Chen is a bit of a he's a very strong character, right? To go against, even if you are playing like Sonya, playing Varian, playing anything. I mean, Twin Blade Varian is pretty good against Chen, but Chen in solo lane, like he's my favorite bruiser because he's really strong, and Probius doesn't really stand a chance against a good Chen player. I mean, I think it's kind of like even. Probius is range, right? Range characters usually win in 1v1s. So but yeah, Chen is pretty good in solo lane. So the dude finally comes back into the lane that he's supposed to be in now, and Lemi is still here for some reason. And in bot lane here, we have Vala trying to flank. Stitches engaging onto the pasta. There's 3v2 here. On our camp, we have Jamila and not Jamila. Oh my god. Quera and Rhaegar doing that cam. They're gonna secure that cam. I'm gonna push this in, and within like 20 seconds, I'm gonna get this fort down because I'm playing Probius, and Probius OP as fuck when it comes to sieging. Alright, so look at that, guys. I'm gonna put my turret in front of the minions here. Let the turret get some aggro. And I'm gonna be pushing here. Faster is gonna come in. And I have a lot of minions in there. They are doing siege damage, and I'm just gonna be poking. Let my turrets do some damage.
Hero slain. Hero slain.
And while all this siege is going out, all these minions getting kills, all these SP getting had and stuff, we are actually getting ahead of them in SP, which means we get our talents earlier. Right now we have our ultimates, they don't, right? So we can be a little more aggressive and like take this lead and just hold on to it. So This is one of the reasons why I
Destroy the
said
fort.
Probius is really OP because he can siege, he can get these SP double soak, and he got CCs like all these slows and stuff,
Destroy the fort.
and he's just pretty good all around.
Take hold of the shrines. Earn the Dragon Knight's power.
Right, Probius is really squishy. Even though I have like all these minions going in there, I could like follow them, but I'm playing probe, and Probius is like very squishy. So you want to push, but you don't want to push too far, right? If you notice that you are way too far into the enemy side of the map, you should back away. I'm gonna come here and capture this node, put my balance down, put my turrets there, blocking the lane in there. And this ultimate I have here is pretty decent. It also got buff in the patch that just came out. So yeah, this ultimate, the reason why I use it is that like you can do decent setups. Like if you have another person who has like a stun, most of the tanks will usually have stun and stuff. Or let's just say Stitches for example, he doesn't have stun, right? But he got a hook and he got a. This guy is not using Gorge, but like any tanks pretty much. Probius kind of comes with like any other character, right? So he's gonna hook somebody. He's gonna let's say portray Bill. I don't know how to pronounce that thing. He's gonna ult around the person, slowing the person down, and then I'm gonna drop my warp in front of the person or around the person and stuff like that, and it's also gonna slow them down. And then when I ult them, that doubles the slow and also slows coming from the tank and stuff like that. So that's gonna be like an
Try
instant
to save
kill
this
on
dragon.
anybody with
Now it will
combo
burn.
like that on. So that's one of the reasons why I picked that ultimate. Also, apart from like getting picks and stuff with that ultimate, you can also use it on structures. I think the changes that came out with Probius that I haven't used the other ultimate yet for him, but I think the other ultimate only hits heroes. It doesn't hit minions and like structures and stuff. I think anymore. So yeah, I don't really know how it works now
I have
because I
seen
haven't
enough.
used it.
For now.
Anyways, my allies are pushing in mid here. In a bot lane here, I'm gonna push this. Playing safe, put my turrets in front of me. Just pushing little by little.
Blue team has destroyed a fort.
We can't really
Legion
end
scores.
this right now because it's like level 13. Death timers is like probably like 15 seconds or 20 seconds. Right, so if you kill them, they're just gonna spawn right back. And if you get like stunned by the keep as well, like you can actually wipe if you force this. Um, this is low elo. I don't really expect my allies to be able to like push this and like hit core. So I'm gonna try to get this keep instead of supporting them in there. I'm gonna allow my ultimate here, doing some structure and tower damage. And I'm gonna use my tower I mean my turret as a minion to push this keep. Chen comes down here. He can actually kill me, but he
Stay
don't want to do it. I mean, I don't know. I don't think he's gonna like kill me, but like I think he will kill any other Probius
Radiant's core is under
player.
attack.
As you guys can see, he just got stunned
Blue
and
team has
he
destroyed a
got
fort.
killed there. So, all right. So, like one of my basic talent, as you guys can see, is like I'm shooting that thing out and it's coming back to me like a boomerang, right? I'm actually gonna talk about it later, but
Red
I think
team's
that's
turret
like
has
the
been
best level
destroyed.
one talent you can take because the changes that came onto previous like it kind of like removes some of the values that you will get if you win either of the quest builds. Um, the way Probius plays, like if you're not good with him, like if you're not like a like an OTP or whatsoever, if it is like your first time playing, right? Those two quests, They are like the easiest to get and they are like the easiest to play with. But when you get better at Probius, you want to use the talent that I'm using right now.
Another chance to prove yourself.
Alright, so
Do not squander
my
it.
allies are keeping those guys busy. I'm gonna go here get some camps. I'm gonna steal their camp and I'm gonna back. And go get my personal camp.
Avenge my husband. Earn his power and destroy
Alright,
your
so it's
enemies.
been 9 minutes now. And this here was a really quick match because we're pretty much about to win this.
The fire calls for you.
Okay, Chen is taking a lot of damage. And get an ultimate here from the Rhaegar. Able to secure that kill on the Chen there. Our Dragon Knight is hitting 4 already. These guys don't notice, and they're just doing a team fight here. This Stitch is gonna die here. Stitch just dies. I'm gonna back out. And we won. Alright guys, playing Probius kind of like, it feels like you're playing League of Legends when you're playing Probius. Like he got skill shots, he got like his playstyle is really really nice and it's really unique. So anybody like if you even if you don't play Probius, like you like watching my videos and stuff, like this is one of the characters like I would encourage anybody to play because he's just really fun and it's risky to play him because he's squishy, but he also got a lot of strength and like he can push really hard. He contributes a lot to like team fights and stuff. And if you build him right, like your win rate is like automatically increased just by picking him because he's really useful in many cases. All right, so level 1, I go for Echo Pulse, disruption. Pulse now returns to Probius 1.5 seconds after reaching its target, dealing 100% damage on return. So the talent that you guys saw me like tossing out, letting it come back to me, that it does 100% going out, 100% coming back. So if you're able to like land that on one person twice, you're doing double the damage. Level 4, you go for photon barrier. This here is actually the best of all the talents, in my opinion, because this here blocks spell damage. Right, so while a photon cannon is alive and powered, Probius gain 40 spell armor. So spell armor is basically a defense against like talents. Like let's say you're going against Limin, for example, and she able to like land her orb on you, right? If you have your photon barrier up, you block like 40% of that. No, no, not 40, not 40%. You remove 40 damage out of the overall damage that is coming out from the spell power that you cast. Um, like you will always, almost always be able to have your photon barrier, like your cannon. You almost always have this up. So I just think it's better. Like spell block is pretty decent. So I'd rather go for this than anything else. Let's see. Particle accelerator. Also, like the other talents, like here, I think you have like the movement speed, like Walker Rush. I think it's also at level 4. They also debuff this that talent like in the patch that just came out. So yeah, I just think this is better. Level 7, you have particle accelerator. After hitting 3 heroes with disrupting pulse, the next warp rift detonates by a disruption pulse, fires 4 additional pulses that deals 170 damage from the impact location in different direction. So basically, you toss your disrupting pulse out or whatever, and if you hit people like 3 times, it actually used to be 4. But if you hit like the enemy heroes 3 times, the next time you hit a warp rift with your disrupting pulse, it actually fire like additional disrupting pulse out. 4 additional particles goes out, and it deals decent amount of damage. Alright, so this here you can use to like do burst damage to somebody. Like if you hit people like 3 times, you put your disrupting. I mean, you put your warp rift under a hero, and you hit them with it. Like you can almost like one shot people with this. All right. Also, the reason why I would take this is that it passive. It reduces the cooldown of the talent that you if you're disrupting pulse about zero point 0.5 seconds. And as you guys can see here, uh, you will almost always be tossing this out like a boomerang. So it's decent to like have a decent amount of cooldown on it, a cooldown reduction on it. Level 10, I go for New Gate. New Gate is pretty good because it slows enemy and it does continuous damage the longer they are in there. And its slow is 80%. It's not like 40 or 30%, it's 80%. That's a huge amount of slows. Like this basically has to be cleansed by like somebody like Karazam or something like that for the person to be able to like move again, because like 80% is basically like they'll be walking, like they won't actually be able to like get out of your ultimate. So if you ult somebody with this and you have somebody like Vala on your team, for example, like that's a guaranteed kill right there. And you can also use this on structures and do damage to them. And you can also like uh, you can use this in merc camps if you are doing camps and stuff. You can actually line this up and like do damage to all the mercenaries that you are attacking. If you are in lane and like you are out of energy whatsoever, and there are minions walking towards you, you can line this up and do damage to all the minions as they walk towards you. If you are defending your keep or your fort, for example, you can like put this in front of your enemies and basically like stop them from moving in a certain area. Like you have aerial control in a sense by taking this talent, and if you can zoom them out and stuff like that, like it's pretty good. So yeah, there are many uses for this talent. So that's uh, that's what I pick it. Let's see, level 13. You have aggressive matrix. Palom's powers feel grant ally heroes 35 increase attack damage. I actually used to go for the shield. And actually, at level 13, it's kind of like a flex pick type of thing. Um, I usually pick the shoe or I take this talent. I'll take this talent if I have a lot of melee characters, or if I have like I have a lot of AA auto attackers. I'll go this talent to increase their damage output. If I have somebody like a KTZ, like I have a lot of mages and like people that are like glass cannons and stuff on my team, I'll just go for the shield to like give them shields and stuff. But also like in the previous patch, like the devs already talk about this. Like the amount of shield these guys will be getting won't be like really fast, right? It will take a little bit of time. There'll be a little bit of a delay in it, and that's what they try to do. That's what they did with the talent in its previous patch. So like in the past, I actually never went for aggressive matrix, but I'm actually considering it these days now because of the change that just came out. It's been a long time since I changed one of my talent level 16 talents into gravity well. I used to use the blue one where like if the enemy enter your warp rift and they walk out, right? 2 seconds after this, they are still gonna be slow, right? That's what I used to take. But then I saw this talent, the gravity well, and it says enemies are slower, are slowed more the closer they get to the center of your warp rift, up to a maximum of 60%, right? So you added 60% onto your ultimate of 80%. You are basically canceling the person's ability to move. If you put your warp rift on them and then you ult them, they will just stand still for like the entire duration, and you guys will be able to like secure kills with them. I mean, with that. Um, Apart from this, though, like you can still use this. I think I don't know if it works against minions. Like I don't know, but this is really good. Like you can zone people out with this. If you are being chased, right? For example, if you're being chased by somebody, you can put this in front of you, and then you walk across it. And then if the person is behind you, walking behind you, right? Once they enter this, like they become slow, and they really can't continue chasing you because I mean there are many ways. Like playing Probius is all about mind games. Like not mind games. Like it's all about like just thinking on your feet in a sense, like using all his ability, thinking on your feet. He's a utility character, right? And he's a really, really decent character because of that. Level 20, I'll usually go for the resets on my work rift if I hit somebody, if they enter it. I've never used anything else, actually. We didn't get to level 20, unfortunately. This match was really fast because these guys didn't have any game sense. Like they had like their mage in the solo lane instead of their bruiser. So this was a quick one. But at level 20, I'll usually go for the last talent, tier 4 talent. And once I hit somebody, right, I get a reset on my warp rift, and then I can actually put my warp rift on another part of the map or on in another area. Basically, I can have like multiple warp rift up, as long as I'm hitting people with it. And then if I'm doing that right, there's like slows for each one of those, so there's like 60%. Um, and if I have like two of that, right, like I think 120 or something like that, right? Like it's gonna be a lot of slows, right? So you guys can do the math. Um, yeah, this is the best build for Probius. Even before this patch, right? This is what I've been using. Um, like the patch before this new patch, right? Like 2 patches ago, this was the build I started using, and I never changed from there yet. And like after the change came out, right after the patch came out for Probius, like adding a passive cooldown on your pylons. Um, I tested this and I noticed that there wasn't really any big changes to the original build I was using. So I decided to share this with you guys. Hopefully it doesn't get outdated. Hopefully they don't do anything with Probius again to like make this build useless. So all right, guys, that's all I wanted to share. If you're new, go ahead and subscribe. And we have I think 108 subscribers, and I'm trying to grow my channel up to like 200, hopefully this year. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.